Hello everyone and welcome to the Death by Robots video game podcast, episode 28 on thegamejar.com. With us this week we've got Ant, Joey, Jenn, Lee, and I'm Ryan. I'm super sexy.
Do we not get to say hello now?
What?
Do we not get to say hello now?
You can say hello all you want.
Hi.
I'm surprised you
Anyone
didn't
else
fuck
want
it
to-
up this week.
I know.
You were like, it was like, what, 4 starts last week? 5?
Yeah, well Jen's fucked it up anyway now because I was going to go straight into it, but...
Yeah, but I wasn't here last week and neither was Joey, so I don't know what you're doing now.
I know, it was a really good podcast.
Everything's changed.
It was our best
It
episode
was probably
ever.
the most entertaining. I'm not going to lie to you. I found it enthralling when I was on the treadmill.
Anyway, Ant, what have you been playing this week, mate?
This week I have been mostly eating Bourbon biscuits and playing Assassin's Creed Revelations, which I finally finished. Like,
Do you want to move more shit around?
sorry, I didn't touch shit on the table. I just leaned forward. So that's all I did.
Rearranging his pen collection.
You-
That's the black one first.
Are you sitting in that bowl that
I'm
you
sitting
have
in a
as a
wicker
chair?
bulb. Yes,
Well, that could be why.
suspended from the ceiling and flying fucking trapeze. Sorry, right, hang on. I'll get out of this chair then. I'll do that. Ow!
Okay.
Coccyx. Right, hang on. So, I have been playing Assassin's Creed Revelations, which I finally finished, and I like the ending. And a spoiler alert, I especially like the bit with the cutscene from the ancient humans that lived, or whatever they are, that lived before we did,
Yeah,
and their
that-
city.
We never said the ending was bad. Who said that?
I never said you said the ending was bad.
No, but you just said it like, yeah, and I actually liked the ending.
Yeah, but everyone was bored with it. Like, everyone who talks about Revelations.
No.
says-
No, what it is the Revelations as a game is pretty boring because it's much of the same, but the story is still alright. It's just doing it all.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But did you enjoy it and everything?
Yeah, I quite enjoyed.
Yeah.
I like the ending. It was a bit different. And
Maybe
yeah, got me excited for Act 3.
Mm.
But that's that. And then I've also been playing Battlefield 3, and I just want to say, after that Twitter conversation with E1TSY, fuck you. I'm gonna get you. I am gonna fuck you up. I'll fuck your shit up.
That is fighting talk.
Just fucking get on Battlefield. I will fuck your shit up.
Carry on.
Oh.
That's it. That's all I've been playing.
Didn't you buy Enslaved in the end?
I no, but it's on my list. That's what I've settled on. But I was supposed to go to game on Friday, but I ended up sleeping until 2 and eating bacon, so I didn't go. But I will. That is my plan now. So the next time I go to town because the thing is, because game went out of business, they've closed. There used to be 2 game shops in the city that I live in, and they've closed the one nearer where I live and consolidated it all to the one at the top, which is near where Almighty Otter used to work, or works, or used to work. It's opposite there, but that's just too. I can't be arsed walking all the way up there. It's an extra 3.5 minutes.
Whoa.
At some
Whoa.
point, I will, but not now. First world problems, eh?
Yeah, man.
Life is hard. Joey, what about you, mate?
I played quite a bit, actually, even though I didn't think I had. I've got The Witcher 2. Well, I suppose I wasn't here last week, so Witcher 2 I've been playing a little bit of. Kind of have to agree with your review of it, Ryan, so far.
Oh my god. Yes. How far are you into it? Because literally, I keep on talking to people, and they are amazed that I gave it a 7. They're like, "Oh my god, it's the best game!" Blah blah blah. And I'm like, "No, but don't you understand? Like the disconnect between the fighting, it's a bit shit, and like the control scheme is really not that good, and the feedback's really bad, and it kind of unimmerses you.
Yeah,
Like, everything else about it's great.
yeah,
What did you say the other day? You went, oh yeah, Jim Sterling gave it a 6, so I was right.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
No,
Well, if Joey and Jim Sterling agree with me, I'm doing something wrong.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm enjoying the story part of it. I'm still in like one of the first town bits, I think, like where you can go and see the troll, and I don't know. But I quite like the story, but I don't know. I just quite like that bit. But the fighting, I don't like fighting the monsters. It just gets a bit hack and slashy. The fighting's also really hard because of the amount of buttons. I quite like dueling people.
Yeah.
That's quite cool. That works quite well. But I don't like the fact that you can't use a health potion during a fight, and that annoys me. I'm now playing on easy, just to experience the story, kind of like I do with Mass Effect, really. Just because I want to get through the story and see some tits, basically.
There's a whole lot of tits. I think within about 20 minutes, you're like shagging girls, like pretty simply.
This bit we just fell into a like an elven bathhouse or something, and Triss was just like, I think we should have some fun time. Okay, fine. And you just shag her in the water, and okay, fine. But no, it's good. I think 7 so far. Maybe the story might ramp it up a bit for me at some point, but so we'll see. Once I've got time to play it, I'll carry on with that.
I mean, that's what I got when I read some people commenting on my reviews. They were basically saying, 7, it's a terrible score. This guy's obviously an Xbox fanboy.
Yeah.
People need to read our fucking review policy.
Well, 7's a fucking good score.
Game.
Like, 7 is a good score. It is a good game. And Xbox fanboy, how about I played it on the Xbox, you fucking idiot? But
because it's out on the Xbox.
Exactly. But I like some of it. I think some of the voice acting is quite good. There's some dodgy Welsh accents in it as well. But I'm impressed with it. Just the fighting, I just can't get my head around at the moment. That's why I've got on easy, and I'm just hacking and slashing, and the amount of shit that you pick up to create things with, and I don't know what they do. I haven't got
the
a clue.
Mushrooms.
I just got so much crap. And I don't seem to be getting any extra armor or anything like that. I don't care. So we'll carry on with that at some point. Also, I've been dabbling around in PlayStation Home, mainly because...
What the fuck? Did you click on it by accident?
No, I have an interview coming up for someone who does work.
Did it fucking update?
Yeah, God, yeah. I did need an update, actually. But... yeah, I've got an interview coming up for someone who does stuff in home, so I've been having a look at their space called Aurora. It could be quite good. Like,
what are you on about? A job interview?
Yeah. I've got a job interview for a company called End Dreams, who are the second biggest publisher in PlayStation Home. So I've been playing around in their main space, which is Aurora.
I like the way you tell us that. That's like being the second biggest rapist after Fritz.
I won't say anything. You've got an interview with them.
They're making money, and if they want to pay me, fine. But just having a look in there. There's lots of mini games in there. Some okay, some not so. To me, the biggest problem with Home is I think they would go down the right route if they turned it into more of a mini game thing as opposed to a come and meet your friends thing, because no one does that. But if they turn it into a little mini game place, then that's cool, I think. But the biggest issue is the control of the actual characters in Home. Like, you just run at one speed. If they could add a kind of a jump button or a sprint button or something, just so that you can play some different games and stuff in there. But I'll keep playing. I'll keep having a dabble in there and see what it's like. But it's not the best, if I'm honest with you. PS Home in general.
I think the only way that they get Home to work would be if they did a halfway house between Home and like the dashboard. So where you go to your friends list on the dashboard, there's all your avatars just kind of chilling. Like, do some kind of halfway house between that and Home, where when you go to your friends list, it's some. Do you know what I'm getting at? Like something halfway in between, where you can go and kind of interact with them and deck your own little bit where your avatar chills out as like a house. But
and the thing is with it, there are a lot of people, because with Aurora, it's all about you can play these mini games, you get experience of playing these mini games, and your character levels up in that space. And they give you unlocks the more kind of experience points you get and the more levels you go up. And if you get to like the highest level, they'll actually give you your own apartment, whereas you can go and buy it if you want. It's that whole thing of give someone a little taster of something and see if they'll then go and buy it if they can't be bothered to do it. Kind of like the Spectre packs on Mass Effect 3, for example. And it's that monetization of games, and They make a lot of money from it, and there's a lot of people on there who spend a lot of money on it, which is mental. I thought Home, like you said, Ant, would just be a graveyard, but there's a lot of people still milling around in there. They might be some utter morons, but they're milling around in there.
Crazy people.
Yeah. So that's PS Home. I'll rattle through. What else have we done? New Star Soccer on the back of Ed's review on the site last week on the Indie Jar. That's quite good. That's okay. Even though he says it costs like 69p or 1.99, but it's free on the iPhone. But you then just you get to a certain amount of games in your career mode, and then you have to pay to unlock the career mode, and it's only like 60p, I think. So, but that's quite good. So if you haven't read Ed's review, I would go and read it. And I've been playing
Whoa.
Yep.
Yeah,
wow.
No,
yeah,
I know exactly what you mean.
Cool, excellent.
Yep.
So it's the beta that I think the whole world, even Africa, has access to.
What?
I know.
Because they usually deny those Africans access to it.
Well, no, it's a closed beta, and yet like every second of the day, you have people on Twitter giving away codes.
Why even Africa?
Because my point is
Even
that
Africa.
I don't know what the point was, but I was trying to get something across.
God. Do you mean even third world countries? Is that what
Just
you're
generally
saying?
every.
Yeah.
It was, I was
Even
trying to say
people without computers
yes,
are playing it.
that was my point, Ryan.
You can play it on a twig.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm not. It probably still crashed then. But I'm having. I think I've managed one full game of it. Otherwise, it just crashes and bugs out.
Well, it is a beta.
Yes, but I'd still
No,
like
but
to be able to
I'm glad.
play it.
I'm glad you're bringing that up. I thought it might have just been my old fucking Xbox, but it took me 4 attempts to even get into a game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just from turning it on. And I was playing it with Otter, and he was having not as much problems as I was.
Why
but
don't you just run away with Otter?
He's a good lad.
It's your best friend.
But it was
Fuck off.
getting stuck on the loading screen constantly. The first time I ever got into a game, the whole thing locked up, and my joypad, I don't know if it ever happens to you when it locks up, but your joypad rumbles non-stop.
Yeah.
Like just nut rumbles, so I just stuck it up my bum.
That's the best kind of day.
I was speaking to someone who they loaded the game up and their character had no head. I've had ones where I've died.
I saw a floating body.
Yeah, I had one where we were going to the objectives, got to the objectives, I started like doing whatever you've got to do to the objective, press X basically, and everyone else just froze, yet I could still run around.
That's awesome.
So
you unlocked the power of time control.
Kill them all.
Exactly. That was the objective. It was the Prince of Persia Ghost Recon crossover. But no, I mean, the little bit I have managed to play, if I could play it with some friends, I think I'd love it. And I know, Lee, we were going to try and get on at some point. And I'm hoping that it'll become a bit more stable as time goes on with the betas being out.
Well, at least it's one of those games that actually is a beta, though, rather than it just being a jumped-up demo.
Yeah.
If they are actually genuinely beta
Yeah.
it, you know it's a beta
exactly.
if it doesn't fucking work. So
Yeah.
Like that's the whole point of it. It's not like it's the PR beta like that some games do, where really the game's finished and it's just a demo. But they say it's a beta. It's like if it's actually a beta and they're trying to fix it, fair enough. And if the game comes out and it works, then it's bang on,
exactly.
it's perfect.
Like,
the beta did its
it's
job.
frustrating because I'm really looking forward to the game, so I do want to experience it. And I don't mind if there's lots of technical stuff, but when I can't even get into a game, it kind of annoys me a little bit. But hey ho, like you said, if it works when it comes out, that's the main thing. That's about it. So we'll move on to someone else before the last thing I've played, really. Do you want someone else?
I've been playing Trials Evolution, which is pretty much one of the most addictive games ever. It's good fun, like it's pretty much the same as the old Trials, but souped up with more explosions and this kind of cool 360 kind of panning camera, which, you know, your bike now goes around corners, but it's still on a streamline. If you played the original, you'll know what I'm on about. It's pretty awesome. Got stuck on this one game mode, which is basically your throttle and brake are disengaged, and you've got to see how far you can get through the level, which is real hard. At the moment, I'm first out of everyone on my friends list, so I'm not even going to play the rest of the game. I'm just going to do that, just so I can be the best. Really loving all the community collection stuff they got on there. They're like, Red Link's made their own foosball table, their own first-person shooter, which ain't all that, and their own kind of like shuttle top-down space shooter, which is pretty awesome as well. I'm really amazed. I don't know if any of you guys have played it, but I'm amazed that, you know, the Xbox finally has its own Little Big Planet kind of dev kit inside it. Please say one of you have played it.
I haven't. You are intriguing
Sorry, I almost
me.
fell asleep. What are you talking
Is
about?
this on the Xbox, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen everyone playing it this week. I'm tempted. And how much is it? You know,
800 points, I think.
Oh, that's tempting.
What is this?
The dev
Trials.
What are you on about?
Oh, Trials. Sorry, I
You're
was
on about
asleep.
Trials still?
Ah.
Oh, see, when you said dev kit, I was like, what the fuck are you on about? Little Big Planet on the thingy?
I liked it better last week. You guys are dicks.
Sorry,
Oh.
yeah, I know what you're on about with Trials.
Especially Jenn.
Why
Also
me?
played because you're the worst.
Oh.
Also played Ghost Recon. Yeah, it weren't a touch on the co-op campaign I played at the preview event. There's just something a bit naff about playing it in multiplayer against other people and having constant objectives. It just was a lot better with a bit of a story and a bit of gumph behind it. So I'm a bit annoyed that the beta just plays like that, and like you say, it's tripping out all the fucking time, which is just no fun for anyone.
And I would like to just pull Lee up on this as well. I know I probably had to go on Twitter, but I would make an amazing co-op person to have with you. I think.
I was upset that I wasn't even mentioned.
And could vouch for me in Red River.
I can back you.
You don't play your fucking games.
I'd like us to
play Minecraft.
We can have a foursome game jar thing minus Jen. The 4 males and play Ghost Recon. I think we should do that.
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
It'd be really good fun trying to get in a game. That would be make a video. It'd be half an hour long with 2 minutes of actual gameplay footage. The rest of it's just us going for fuck's sake.
Why weren't you join the squad?
I loaded that Ghost Recon beta at once, and it just told me it tried making me register for some kind of account of Uplay.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck that. So I just didn't bother.
You should already have that. That should already be, if you're a massive Assassin's Creed boy, that should already be on there.
Yeah, but it's remembering what password, what use. It's like another. Like, I just want to log into Xbox Live. It fucking works. I don't want to have to remember more shit.
There is a skip
Crapping
button.
out loud.
You can just skip it. And
I tried skipping it, and it just said server unavailable.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. Also, played Battlefield 3. Just kind of getting back into it. Still being the pimp. What happened the other day? We played with Dan Sheridan, didn't we? It was me, Lee, and it was Otter again. And we was having like a really cool little team-based skirmish, like running through, fucking people up. And then Dan invited us into a party, and it ended up being like, you know, that team-based like death match, which is just shit.
The 4v4v4v4.
Yeah, and then we got invited into Dan Sheridan's party, and then his Xbox locked up, and it was like, why are we here? It ruined everything.
Oh, he was only trying to be nice.
He was trying to be as nice as possible, but I don't know, I think me, Lee, and I think most people, we prefer like the whole capture the base kind of shit going down.
Yeah.
Team-based death matches on Battlefield just don't.
And driving tanks off of that fucking helipad.
Yeah, that was awesome. We've never done that before.
That was all good.
That was like,
it was
literally, I was like, Lee, what are you doing? And he was like, I can show you the world. I was like, what are you doing, Lee? And then, like, literally, our fucking van had like 5 seconds of airtime, just like, fucking about. And then we just landed. We landed, we didn't even bounce, it just went, land, bang. Like, there was like a second land, bang.
No, I've got Aladdin stuck in my head. Right.
Jen, what have you been playing? Sorry, Joe, did you want to say something, mate?
I was going to say that helipad jumping bit is by far one of my most favourite things in a video game ever.
Yeah, what is that? Is that where you spawn at the top as part of your team?
Yeah.
No. So your team spawns at the top, the other team spawns at the bottom?
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, so what if you're the team that spawns at the bottom? That's not much fun. I want to be in the top.
You have to go like this.
I want to jump off in a tank.
Fucking awesome. It was really good. You really did like open my eyes up to like, this is awesome.
It was so silly.
Yeah, Jen, what have you been doing, girl?
Not much. I've been playing Minecraft. And what did I do? Why wasn't I here last week? Oh yeah, we went.
You was at something.
You were at a friend's.
Brilliant.
Thursday night.
Absolutely brilliant, Jen.
Oh yeah. I went on a road trip to
proper return to form, Jen. It's just amazing. We really missed you. We really did.
Oh. I went on a road trip to see Lee. It was awesome. He has a good sofa, and and we played some games, but we can talk about that as a whole because like me and Lee and Joey played like games, so I don't need to talk about that on my own.
What did you see today?
What? Oh, today I didn't play that though, so that doesn't count. Oh, but okay. So today, the reason I'm tired is because I've been in London because I saw the Game of Thrones RPG game, but I didn't get to play it because it was just like a presentation. But we saw an hour's worth of gameplay. It's I don't want to be mean to it yet because it's not out.
It's a preview, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like it's not completely finished, I don't think. But I wasn't blown away by it, and I wanted to be. Like, I desperately wanted it to be amazing.
Is it more just like a Skyrim mod?
No, it's very linear. There's no running around in woods. It's basically you follow these two characters who aren't part of the actual Game of Thrones world. So it's like. Are
they like? Are they reading the book? Are these like people from the real world that got sucked in?
No, nothing like that.
Awesome.
Not like Take On Me or anything like that. But it's just like, you know.
Sorry.
Okay. No. So you play as these two characters called Alistair and Morse, but I know, but
You're making this up.
I am not. Basically, they're two characters that aren't actually in the book, but it's set in the time that the first book is, like the time scale of that. So you kind of see the people like Cersei and the Lannisters and all the other people, but you don't actually play Tyrion. Yeah, probably. I didn't see him. But yeah, it just play through a story within the Game of Thrones world during the time where people go to war and shit.
It's like
in the first book,
doesn't it?
So the second season,
the first season.
It starts after. This isn't spoilers because it's the whole point of Game of Thrones. After Robert Baratheon's death,
Sean Bean dies.
No, you fucker!
Edit that out.
You son of a bitch! I knew something happened to him towards the end of the first season, but I won't show up. You cunt!
But it's after Baratheon's dead, and they're all fighting for the throne, right? And
I just got to the bit in the book yesterday. I got to the bit where Joffrey became king, which is the other thing you fuckers spoiled.
Okay, no. Without any spoilers,
read that slowly.
Basically, you play as these two characters throughout the time span of the first book and first series. So basically, it's from the very beginning when he becomes the King's Hand, and to the end of the first book, and the end of the first series. But you don't actually follow that story. You're kind of just in that world as two different people. So you play as a red priest guy, who's one of the guys who like worship.
Septon.
Yeah, you worship the fire. One of those guys. Yeah. And then Alistair or something. There was no bears.
Were you given a fact sheet?
Are you sure it's not Alistair without a T?
No.
Because there is. Are you sure it's not Alistair without a T? Because there is a character called Alistair in the books. I'm pretty sure, but there's no T.
No. No. Wait, hang on.
She didn't have she actually reeled this off. She picked me up from work today. She did reel it all off to me, like, quite well.
Okay.
You should have fucking recorded it.
Yeah.
I don't have high hopes for this game at all. Like, because
I was saying to Jenn in the car that unfortunately a lot of, like, you know, when anyone makes a comic based video game or any kind of video game based on something which is famous in the real world, it's always shit, and it's because half the fucking money goes on getting the publishing rights for the name.
So Sean Bean in it?
He's fucking dead, thanks to you.
Sean Bean dies in everything.
Fucking, I'm not forgiving you for that. That's.
I thought you'd finished the first book.
No, I'd finished. I got to the last. I'm at the last maybe 50 pages, but I thought, fuck it, I'm going to start the TV show. It's like I pretty much finished the book, but not read the ending yet. Cause I thought I'm going to let them all converge in a series of mindgasms. Enter fucking Lee.
Enter fucking Lee.
Son of a cock.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm sure you put on your Facebook the other day that I've just finished Game of Thrones season book 1.
Well,
so it's your own fault. It's your own fault.
You did.
What? All right, maybe because they did. I got to the bit where Joffrey got made king, and then his first thing was like, get all these guys and kill them all because Sean Bean, whatever he's called, Ned was trying to carry out the king's last wish or something, which was for the real person.
Hang on a minute. Finished reading Game of Thrones. Started the TV show now.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I'm nearly there. I'm right at the end.
No. You can't fucking have a go at me for that. I thought you'd all finished it.
Yeah, but you only just read that now. I'm nearly at the end. Good as. Pretty much finished doing it now.
We'll call it even.
Close. All right. There is a guy called Alistair in the books with a T.
Is that?
Oh, naturel.
I can't do it when you do that.
Smooth.
Mm.
No one would ever tell that the call got
It's
dropped.
not edited in the fucking slightest.
Jen, tell us about Alistair.
So Game of Thrones is a shit Templars night thing next.
Fantastic.
Well, yeah, it's a little bit like that. Yeah, I'm not too happy about it, really. Well, it's all right, but you get to play as a dog, and the thing is, like, you can kind of leave the dog places and then kind of be part of the dog in this.
Is it a direwolf?
It's not. It looks like some really weird staff, but it's mutated. I don't know, but you can go into its mind, basically. And
you can go into the dog's mind.
Yeah, like you take over his mind and kind of possess the dog and walk around as the dog as
Wog.
And you can follow scents through the air.
Oh, this
so it's
sounds
like that PlayStation
horrendous.
2 game where you played as a dog.
It's a bit like Batman, where he goes into like detective mode and you can see the scents through the air.
Detective dog.
Old Nintendo game called Okanami.
Oh,
what you're thinking.
That's the really beautiful one, isn't it? The like painted one.
Yeah, it's all paint dry brushes and stuff. Jen, what else have you been playing?
DiRT Showdown. I wanted to make it dramatic. Is that all right?
You should have paused. You should have gone DiRT Showdown.
Big D, little I, big R, big T, DiRT Showdown.
What's with the little I? Anyway, yeah, this is what I was doing when I went to see Lee, because Joey was there, even though he kind of abandoned us.
No, I didn't get invited, so I went with someone else.
No, you didn't sit with us, though, did you?
Well,
no.
because I was too busy winning the multiplayer tournament and winning some shoes.
You're too busy wearing a suit over there.
Yeah,
So,
Joey, why were you
wear
wearing a suit?
Joey, did you wear a suit?
It wasn't. No, I'm sorry.
I went to play video games in a suit.
No, it wasn't a suit.
Sorry.
Joey, it wasn't a suit, it was an outfit. What on earth does this sentence have?
Right.
It was a
shut
onesie.
Shut up and let me talk then. I was wearing a suit jacket and a shirt with
no
some
trousers
jeans and some shoes and some
Yeah,
jeans. There was no trousers, so it's not a suit. It was smart cash. Took my jacket off, shirt, rolled up sleeves, bang, done.
Could just imagine you in the corner in just a suit jacket and a shirt and no trousers doing squat thrusts.
I was tempted. I was very tempted. But no, I don't. If I'm going somewhere, especially if I'm looking for jobs, I like to kind of not turn up in a black T-shirt that has "I like this video game" written across it. I like to kind of present myself.
I look like utter shit when I go to video game events. I look like
you do. I met you a Eurogamer.
I look like shit.
I know you did.
I'm literally like crap band T-shirt, crap old trousers. Because I don't really care about impressing people, I guess.
You don't want a job.
I mean...
Anyway, enough about Joey's attire. We all played the DiRT Showdown, and it was great fun. I don't even like racing games, and I had fun. Because it's all about smashing shit. It's great.
It's not all about smashing shit.
Well, it's not. No, it's not all about that. It is. It's just awesome. I had fun.
I was surprised just how much fun I had with it. I quite like Dirt 3. I got a bit bored a little bit way through the career mode, whatever you want to call it, because it was the rallies bored me a bit. So I like the fact that they've taken Showdown and the Gymkhana and the kind of the arcadiness out of Dirt 3 and given it its own franchise. I really like that. I found it really addictive. Some of the modes that I just wanted to go and beat my times, and then with the addition, I'm sure we'll talk about of RaceNet, I'm sure that'll just spur on that bit of competition with my friends. And I'm really looking forward to the end of May now. I can't wait for it. I had great fun playing it online and offline, and I'm really, really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I really like the modes where you like jump in with your vehicle and like basically you just have to smash stuff in various ways, like smash into other people and get points, or just more smashing.
I like the Hoonigan one. Did you play the Hoonigan one?
Which one was the Hoonigan one?
That was
the Hoonigan one was the one where you start off with 2 cars sort of back to back, and then you have to go off around the course, and it's kind of like a special stage for anybody who's ever played like older rally games. It's like the special stages out of them, but then crossed with Gymkhana. You have to like do the stunts, like going around the poles and over the jumps and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I wasn't very good at Gymkhana, so
see, I like that one.
Yeah,
none of that really appealed to me from from Dirt 3. So, partly because I was really rubbish, but yeah, no, I didn't play those bits. Lee played those bits, and I played the crashing into people bits. What was that one? It was like 8 Ball or something, which was basically like a looped track.
What, like an 8?
Yeah, an 8. And but yeah, and so you go around, but obviously people are crossing in the middle, and you can really cause some damage, or people can just knock into you and fly you off course. And I was winning so many times, and just lost because someone just knocked me. It was really annoying, but it was great.
Yeah, 8 Ball was good. I mean, like I say, it's just a flat race, but anything can happen. You can always be 8th, and automatically, kind of after someone smashes, you can just be in the lead, and you never feel like it's really a lost cause. And they weren't too long. It was a couple of minutes of race, if that. But what got me about it is when you're playing, whether it's you're racing or whether it is your kind of destruction derby modes or rampage, as they like to call it, it's just how much is going on screen. Like the sky, I can't remember a racing game where so much is going on in the sky. Whether it's was it San Francisco and it's at night and there's fireworks going off, or
I did see that, yeah.
Was that London? Was it?
No, wait, no, it was San Francisco. You're all right. There was a bridge. It's a city with a bridge.
Yeah, which is.
I like the Tokyo one. That was cool. There was all the neon lights and things going, and
then there's the one with all the balloons and stuff. Like because you probably spend your time looking at a third of the screen is probably just the sky, and from what I can tell, they've put a lot of effort into just wherever you look, there's stuff happening. Like you're driving up these ramps, even in some of the races, there's these odd ramps that you can go up, and as you're going up those ramps to do the jump, flames shoot out the side. It's just there's always something going on. Yeah, they've got
pyrotechnics to go as you go through. It's great.
It's great fun.
It just makes everything a bit more exciting than just going up a ramp. You're like, I've gone up a ramp and there's been fireworks every time.
Do you know what I noticed? A lot of the tracks were like they're all tracks that have been in other Codemasters games. Well, not all of them, but there's quite a few that were.
Didn't you turn to me and go, "This one looks a bit like it's on Grid"?
Yeah, I was like, I found like one. I was like, "This is out of Grid. I'm sure it's out of Grid." And then I looked at the board. I got back, and it is. Sure enough, it's out of Grid. There was a couple that were out of Grid actually. That Tokyo one. That Tokyo one that you.
Stuff then, or are they...
That Tokyo one that you really like. That was in Grid.
Was it?
Pretty sure it was in. It might have been in Dirt as well, actually.
Does that mean they're making a Grid too?
I don't know. Probably not. There was some out of Grid. There was some out of the older Dirt ones, and there was quite a lot of new ones as well. And Battersea Power Station's back in it as well, which is pretty cool. Like that free Joyride. Is it called Joyride?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's Joyride. Joyride.
The one where you have to get the different markers, like jump over this thing, or...
Yeah.
I mean, we played in the morning. We played the kind of single player campaign, which I really enjoyed. There's 4 tiers, and we were allowed to play the kind of the bottom, the entry level tier. And each tier has about 13 different events in.
Was that all we were allowed to play?
Yeah, we weren't supposed to go to the second one. If we got to, we supposed to play the first one. That had 13 events in it. We asked Mike Chapman, the lead designer, and he said that each level above that also has 13 events in it, but they get longer, so you will have events where it's 2 or 3 races instead of just 1 race per event. So there's a lot of life in it, I think. And the nice thing is they keep mixing up the events. It's not just you race for 7 races and you race, you do some Destruction Derby, you do the head-to-head Gymkhana. It just keeps it interesting, and that was my problem with Dirt 3. And I think with this, they've got that balance right of keep mixing up, keep people interested, and I might actually make it to the end of the career mode, hopefully.
Wow. Does it still have that really obnoxious guy?
Yes.
Doing the talking.
Much to my annoyance, he's there.
I mean, he's a good lad, but he's not a good lad. He used to do a skateboarding program called Rad, and I really like that. But it's like I'm an obnoxious American guy who couldn't skateboard, so I thought he was a dick. Then we met him last year at the Dirt Free thing, and he was actually quite a nice guy. But it's a bit fucking heavy just having him all like, you know, just free, like he just talks on. And what can the same voice actor do for 3 games when he's got quite a unique, annoying American voice? Is he still like goading you, going like, "Hey, that's great, let's race again"?
He's not so much in the menus and that. He more tells you what events and stuff are coming up. But then, like when you're in a race, he'll sort of commentate on what you're doing a little bit. I'll be honest, he's not as. It didn't seem as intrusive as he was in Dirt 3.
Mm.
Yeah. I didn't get as
probably
annoyed.
A good thing, but it's. I'm hoping they've put an option in the menu to turn him off.
Oh,
that'd be amazing.
But yeah, he's back in it.
Yeah, Lee had fun, but he only had one issue with it. What didn't you, Lee? Really?
What was it?
It was the thing with the button.
Oh, it's in the preview build that we played. Whenever you tap X, it brings up like a hint screen. It just pauses the game and brings up a hint screen telling you about the event you're doing. It just seemed a bit weird.
You just hit it by accident.
Yeah, like you just knock it by accident and it pop up. But
wait, what button is it?
It's on X.
Oh right, okay, yeah, I get you.
Yeah, it's
just a bit weird.
Close to your fingers.
But apparently, I'm not the first person. I'd mentioned it to the guy when he asked me to Mike when he'd asked me like what I thought of the game. I was like, the X button thing's a bit annoying, and he was like, yeah. He says they took it down to the Gadget Show, and they had people playing it at the Gadget Show, and a lot of pretty much the only criticism they had from anybody at the Gadget Show was that the X button's annoying. So by the time it's out, they might have maybe moved the X button to somewhere in the menu.
Okay,
which would be nice. To be fair, actually, that's probably one of the only things I could mark it down on.
Yeah, you came away quite happy, and you like your racing games.
Oh, online is wicked.
Yeah,
like playing multiplayer. That is a good laugh.
And we played split screen as well, which was all right. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I beat you.
No, I beat you.
No, I beat you.
No, there was that one time that you tried to like spin your car at the finish line and reverse back, and I just zoomed right past you because
I tried
you were
to showboat and like pull a handbrake turn and reverse over the line when I was like whooping Jen's ass.
Yeah,
but I messed it up.
I was only just behind you.
I messed it up, and then like she overtook me. I was like, oh, I lost.
I mean, probably one of my favorite new modes in it is the kind of the podium one, which knockout I think it's called, where you start on a ramp.
Is that where you go up the ramps?
You start on a ramp, and basically you all jump onto this big podium, and basically it's just a destruction derby. So you're knocking each other around and trying to destroy each other, but you get extra points if you knock them off the podium. If you go off the podium, you just literally drive back up and get back involved and try and earn points. But that was just good fun, and it kind of reminded me of the destruction derby of old, and the damage kind of mods on there are fantastic. It looks really good, I think, as well.
I went from last to first in the space of about the last 10 seconds.
That was great, that one.
Because it kicked in and it was at like double point score mode or whatever. And I managed to knock about 5 people out of the ring, and I'd gone from last to being first. And I was like, yes, in your face! Like stood up on my chair, rubbing it in everyone's face.
It was, and that was probably one of my biggest memories of that day. Actually, was that because I think we was playing with someone, we were second, I think, at the time. And I think someone else just overtook us, and then all I hear is Lee just go, ah, and laugh really loud. And we're like, what the fuck? I'm fourth. How the hell has this happened? You got like a triple knockout or something, didn't you? Which then and it just shows that I think even if you're not that good at it, when it's Destruction Derby, there is a little bit of luck based on it as well. And you're not always going to get battered online. But
there's always that hope that you can pull it back, really. There's always that hope that you can pull it back, because like I've played games like racing games before, and I've never claimed to be good at racing games, and I'm usually last, and you sit there going, oh, I'm last, I've still got 2 laps to go, I can't catch up with people, and it just gets like quite upsetting. Well, not upsetting, not to the point of crying, not to the point of killing myself, but you know, like you just sit there going, why am I finishing this race? Like, oh, but with like this game, like I can just be like, well, I can catch them up. They could have this huge pile up in front of me, and it'll be great. And then I can bash into them and get lots of points, and then I can go first. And there's always that little inkling that you might win anyway, even if you are last. So, because anything can happen in this stuff. It's great. Yeah.
Right, okay, before we move forward on, because I want to move forward, I've got one question to ask you guys. What food did you get? I know Ant will want to know this as well, so, what food did you get?
Pizza!
Pizza and chips.
Pizza and chips, and cans of Coke, and...
Fucking Diet Coke.
Oh, I didn't have
wedges
Diet Coke.
and salad.
That sounds amazing. That sounds so much better than my fucking
meaty pizza.
Pretentious meat on shit bread.
The great thing about Codemasters is that they have their own pub in the building.
What?
Out the back. Yeah. It was awesome.
Yeah,
what
pub? They have their own pub.
Why aren't we there now?
You go down a little lift and you get to the pub.
That's amazing. Bastards.
Yeah. Although to be fair, I at the Game of Thrones thing today, I did have popcorn. That was pretty cool.
Popcorn shit.
And it was salted popcorn. They knew where it was at.
Anyway, who cares about that now? Let's carry on. Let's actually get off what we've been playing. We've been talking for 45 minutes about what we've been playing. There's one more. We talked about DiRT Showdown. Lee, you played one more game. It's one of my favourite games out at the moment. What do you think of it? What is it? Tell me about it. Talk to me.
Oh, DLC Quest.
There we go.
Yes. Played DLC Quest off your recommendation from the podcast last week.
What do you think about it?
It's awesome. Yeah. Everybody should play. I even seen a couple of people, they were tweeting the Game Jar feed, and I think they were tweeting you as well, saying that they went and bought DLC Quest. So you single-handedly upped that guy's sales, which is awesome.
I might write him a letter and demand half.
Yeah, it's like, you can't... Honestly, you'd struggle to spend a better sort of 80 Microsoft points on pretty much anything.
I think you would. It's definitely really, really enjoyable. So I'm glad.
I like the zombie mode.
If anybody's if you've just got 80 Microsoft points, or just a stupid amount that isn't enough to spend any 104 Microsoft points or something daft like that, just go onto Indie Marketplace and download DLC Quest. You won't spend about 80 Microsoft points. It was awesome. I'm actually
should tweet us when they buy it and let us know.
I'm going to do. We'll do a Let's Play with it actually later in the week if you want, Jen, and we'll put it up on the Indie Jar.
Oh, okay. I haven't played it yet, so yeah.
Awesome.
Let's do that. Wait, hang on. Yeah,
what are you doing? Checking your calendar?
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, I was just seeing if I.
You're like, hang on, let me check, see what I'm doing. Roll around on the floor with Barney.
Not working.
I'm a very busy person for unemployed bum.
I know, it's amazing how you have no money. Do you know what? Jen has more money than I do, and she has no job, and I have a job.
I have £4, and you have no pounds.
You know what we spent our last £7 on?
There's hardly something to rave about
today. This is our last £7 before payday. Electricity and toilet roll. Recycled toilet roll. Amazing.
Because I didn't want to use a towel this week.
No towels this week. So anyway, so you guys obviously you had a load of fun at DiRT. That was a great preview event. It sounds like loads of fun. What kind of pizza was it? Quickly, was it like Pizza Hut? Was it Domino's? Was it
meaty
it was
pizza?
Man pizza.
It was
big man homemade pizza.
Was it a homemade?
Yeah.
A pizza. It was. There was lots of meat on it.
Tenderized with dicks. A proper pizza. But you also, you went to other events and shit like that.
Okay.
Do you want to go for it, Lee?
Oh.
Right, can't hear you, mate.
Why is Skype being so bad tonight?
Yep. Continue.
Yeah. Yeah, and then what happened?
Yeah.
What?
Oh wow!
And then I shit my pants.
Wow, all of them.
Oh.
Wow.
And then
you
the
must have had a strained asshole.
And it killed us all.
What happened to Sean?
We're back from our Skype mishaps. We're gonna mess with the format. Jen, question corner.
Oh, what the fuck? Really?
Every week you act surprised.
No, because you just
not
throw it
buying
at me.
Anymore. Not
I
buying
don't.
it. Thing, bitch.
No.
Throw it at you like a used
Someone
condom. Come on. Come on.
It's the only way I can get an erection.
I know.
Oh, now I know what you two do in bed.
Sing, bitch.
Press recorder, da la la la. Yeah. You done? Sorted?
I'm
Good.
so spent.
Okay. Why has Joey asked a question?
Can I just say, sorry, when you said that, the whole in bed thing then, I was just imagining Ryan, butt naked except for a leopard skin man thong, laid on the bed, on a velour pink bed, in the position of Michael Jackson on the front of his Thriller album, while Jenn just kind of sings to him, like on her knees at the foot of the bed, and Ryan's just kind of stroking a tiger, listening. I don't know why.
Bedroom? You're explaining it perfectly.
Is this exactly what happens?
Oh, anyway, why have you asked the question, Jay?
Well, because I didn't know if we were going to get lots of questions, so I'm sorry for being inquisitive.
Oh, should I ask this whole? Oh,
I'll ask it if you want.
No. I'll read it, shall I? On the back of Ryan's piece that went up about collecting shit, what is the most ridiculous...
On the back of my piece.
After that conversation we've just had.
About collecting shit, what's the most ridiculous thing you've wanted to collect in a game? Be it an achievement, something that's part of a quest, something that's not part of a quest, or just for shits and giggles. Lee, I'm thinking the fridge thing from Deus Ex.
What is the fridge thing from Deus Ex?
Have you played
Deus
Ex 2?
No.
No, what's the
Revolution.
new one? Whatever the fucking new one is.
Human Revolution.
Yeah, have you played it?
Mm-mm.
Oh god, it's shit boring.
Yeah, it's boring.
I played it for an hour.
So
boring. Everybody, like the internet, was all like, "Oh, this is really good."
I was like, "No, it's just some bollocks that's covered in gold."
It was, like everybody was fapping over that game.
It's just because there was nothing out for 3 months before it, so everyone was just like, "Oh, 10 out of 10." No, 6 at best.
Yeah, I got to this point in it where I was up. It's when you get to like what's effectively the second city, which is like Hong Kong or something. Or like Asia or somewhere. There's like Chinese food everywhere. I don't know.
What?
And there's this mission where you have to like go into this guy's house or something to find his missus. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. It was boring as hell. And you have to like be like a detective around his flat and like move all the stuff. And I picked up his fridge. I thought, oh, maybe there's a clue in the fridge. And I clicked on the fridge and I picked it up. And I was like, hang on a minute, I can pick up fridges. So I carried his fridge. Like, I was getting pissed off because I couldn't find this guy's clue. So I thought, fuck it, I'm going to steal this guy's fridge.
I think that's fair.
Because, like, you imagine getting back home and, like, your house is exactly how it was, but except your fridge is missing. You'd be pissed. So I stole the guy's fridge and then I put it on the roof across from his apartment so that he could see his fridge, but then like not be able to get it. And then I went round the rest of Chinatown stealing people's fridges.
I like it.
Which included one really elaborate one of like trying to sneak out of this heavily guarded area with a fridge.
Did it work? Did you like kind of like oop, sneaky?
And I just stacked all these fridges up on this roof like across the way from this guy's house. And awesome. It's not even part of the game. I was just, and then I was like, "Oh, I'm finished now." I turned the game off. I've never played it since.
I think that's a bit weird, to be honest.
It kept me entertained for a good 4 or 5 hours.
Wow,
awesome. I've always wanted to get the achievement for taking the gnome all the way through Half-Life.
Oh yeah, I'd love to do
man,
that.
That's hard.
Yeah, I kind of put that down as like one of gaming's like ultimate challenges, which it'd be really nice to be able to say that you've done that. And I don't know if it is kind of a collect because you're collecting the achievement. So
I did some of it, but you get to
when you get to Ravenholm, isn't it? It was just
I got to the bit where you're driving the car around.
Yeah, you have to jam him in the front or something.
No, you have to throw him really far and just drive your car a little bit, then pick him up and throw him again.
No, I think you can jam him in the radiator or something.
Can you?
You can like force him into like the part of the car.
I just really would love to do it, but I don't think I could. Like, it's too hard.
There must be something weird you can collect in like Katamari, like apart from the whole world and universe. That's pretty fucked up.
Cousins.
The
cousins and the hats and stuff.
I heard someone describe, like, imagine if they made a really realistic version of Katamari.
That'd be horrific.
Like, it's all really, like, yeah, like, you're just squelching people and hearing them scream.
Oh, like a really big bundle. No, what do I collect in games? What have I collected that's weird? Oh, in Half-Life where you squish all the bugs.
Yep, that was a good one.
Yeah? That was quite
I got the 100%, I got the Keys to the City achievement in Grand Theft Auto, which is in Grand Theft Auto 4, which is the one for 100% in the game.
Wow.
And get this right, they were running a competition at the time. Rockstar were running a competition at the time, whereas if you got 100%, in the game within a certain time period. They actually, and the achievement was called Key to the City. They actually sent you in the post the key to the city, and it was in like a really nice presentation box, like this metal key. With like the logo as sort of the lucky bit, and it was gorgeous. And I was, I got it up to like the last 0.2%, and I just couldn't find it. And I spent like the final week of the competition thing trying to find this last 2%, and I just couldn't find it.
Oh,
was it a pigeon thing?
I got all of the pigeons, all of the jumps, all of the things. What it is you know the little random encounters with all the different men.
Oh right, yeah.
On the path. They only appear at certain times of the day. I was even convinced that I got all of them. But it turns out there was just one that I was missing that only appeared for like an hour a week in the game.
Oh, no way.
And I found out about it about 4 days after the Keys to the City competition finished, and I was gutted. I could have had one of the Grand Theft Auto Keys to the City. Got to rinse that game.
That's what you get for spoiling Game of Thrones.
Yep. Well, your story tops mine because the only thing I ever because I never bothered with any of this shit, but some ginger kid once told me that if I collected...
Why is it important that he's ginger?
Well, I collected... He said, it was a ginger kid in school, he was called Lewis, and he said that if I collected all of the hidden packages in Grand Theft Auto 3, this was when the game was like the newest GTA game, he said if I collected all of the hidden packages in GTA 3, then, you know, on Shoreside Vale, the third island, you know, at the top of the island, there was like a road that was blocked off inside a tunnel that was like the exit to the city. He told me that would become unblocked and that there'd be a fourth island. And I spent I was up to like 2 in the morning. I was perking 2 in the morning. But this, I mean, it doesn't sound like much now, but you got to imagine at the time I was 12. So that was like a time I had never experienced, but I didn't know that time existed. And then when I collected the last hidden package, it was like the last one I, for some reason, collected was in Portland. So I then raced across the entirety of Liberty City and got to that entrance. It was still fucking blocked. I was this was in the days before I had the internet, so I couldn't like go and falsify the information and go and see if it was right. So, oh my god, I went to school the next day, I punched that ginger kid right in the fucking chops. So fucking annoying. Never trust a ginger kid.
Speaking of a story like that, when I was really, really young, I had PGA Tour Golf on the Mega Drive, like the original one. And
with the battery in it to save the game.
Yeah, with the yellow tab. And I remember someone telling me that if you took like 100 shots, you would like unlock Golden Axe or Gallagher or something like that, like one of the old games. Sat there, you know how long it takes to take 100 fucking shots when you're like 8 years old. Like, you just sit there, and it's like the most time-consuming thing, and just nothing happened. I was quite sad about the whole thing. I don't know if I saw that in, like, a Sonic the Comic or, like, a Games Master, or it might have just been, like, playground talks.
Sonic the Comic, shit! I've got a first edition of that.
I had all of them. The very first edition had that awesome Sonic the Hedgehog badge on it. Fucking amazing.
Where are they now?
My parents binned them. I used to read them in the bathroom, so they're all fucking, like, dank and shit.
Covered in piss.
Yeah. But I had all of them, man. Like,
wouldn't happen if there was a carpet there.
That was good. Yeah. Should we move on? Next question, unless Joey's got something.
No, that's my question. I don't particularly like collecting stuff, so. Which is surprising, considering how boring I am.
So what the fuck did you ask for?
Because I wanted to know. I wanted to know what you guys did, and I was trying to relate it to something that's been on the site. I was trying to be fucking clever. God damn it!
Damn it!
You don't collect anything in games.
He just stands there,
looking at
Not
the
unless
sky.
I have to. Like,
isn't it pretty?
I don't go. I never went around hunting for the hidden packages in Grand Theft Auto. I never, just because I don't know. I just want to play the game.
No, I'm with you completely. I collecting stuff's cool, but like 100 packages, I don't give a fuck about that.
I collected all.
I don't care about getting.
I didn't until someone told me that it would unlock. Like, you would do that if you had no way of knowing it wasn't true. You would go and check that shit out. You'd go and see if that was.
I don't think I'm as gullible as you, mate. So, you know, as 12-year-old
Assassin's
Anthony.
Creed Brotherhood. Aww.
Damn you, 12-year-old. Next question, go.
James Bowerbank has asked, with the media yet again looking at the negative side of gaming, COD being used by Anders Breivik. I can't pronounce his name, okay? The guy
who killed like 70 people.
Yeah, the killer guy.
I'm sorry.
What?
Right.
What?
Do you want me to read it, Jen? Because you're struggling.
No. I thought Anne wanted to say something.
I was just going to say, I don't get this. Whatever happened to being fucking crazy? Like, why is it that when someone mows down a load of people and shoots, like you've got to look at what songs was he listening to? What book did he read? No. The dude was fucking crazy. You don't have to look at, like, it's not going to be a book. You're not going to, like, read a book and go, oh, that book was good. Well, better fucking mow a load of people down.
No, you were obviously crazy beforehand.
Yes! Why can people not just accept that?
Oh, I don't know. Anyway,
yeah.
With COD being in the limelight for that, to train for his assault on unarmed civilians in Norway, apparently. Well, that's
There's no
what
fucking apparently about it. The guy mowed down 70 people on an island.
No, what? No, I was talking about him training on COD, apparently.
He said he did.
I know!
He's so sane, it must be true.
Oh, yeah, of course. What do you think can be done to raise the general public's awareness of the good games that can do... this doesn't even make any sense.
The general public's awareness of good games that... Oh, my God, that's really bad, James.
That might be me writing it down.
To raise the general public's awareness of the good games can do, and that is a great pastime.
And not the seed of the devil.
That may have been my point.
See, that's why I'm having trouble with this.
Basically, what James is saying is, like, what can the what
can
we do to help the public understand it's not computer games, which is the devil.
Unfortunately, there's always going to be people out there who...
Just carry on doing what the fuck we're doing. Yeah. Fuck them. Leave them to it.
The problem is, the media will always try and blame someone. You've got, back in the day, Marilyn Manson for Combine, Eminem, drugs,
M&Ms.
parents,
all those
M&Ms.
chocolates.
There's not...
M&Ms.
The fact is, the media will always try and find a scapegoat as quick as possible. The simple thing on my part, I mean, if you're worried about your kid becoming a murderer, there's parental controls on all fucking consoles. Use them. Or, I got a really good one, don't buy your kid a fucking over 18-year-old game, you fucking idiot.
Yeah.
If it's someone mental, like Anders... They're mental. Computer games aren't going to do anything about that. He is through and through mental.
It may push him over the edge a tiny bit, but to be honest, he was always going to be fucking insane.
But then it's the fact that he's like, oh, well, I trained to do this on Call of Duty. Like, Call of Duty will not train you to go and shoot people. Like, and even if you go paintballing, you might joke about it being like, but it's it's a physical experience. Saying that playing Call of Duty trains you to shoot people is like saying that watching Independence Day trains you to repel an alien invasion. No, it doesn't. You would not, if that really happened, you wouldn't be like, well, seen this shit, I know what to do. Like, no, that's not, you're not going to start rappelling around and shooting people with like M16s with all kinds of attachments bolted to them. It's fucking ridiculous.
Anyway.
Fuck it, next question.
I don't think there's much point doing that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well done.
Next question. Who the hell wrote this? Toby off of Twitter. Is that you, Lee?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that might be. So Toby off of Twitter, whoever Toby is, will SimCity have random Godzilla attacks? Also, I'm too lazy to find out. I'm guessing it's PC only. Is it PC only?
Yes, at the moment it's PC only. That's all they said.
Is that not
I did ask you about the monster attacks, and I've got an interview which will be up soon. I don't know when, maybe next week. On the website where I interviewed one of the developers about it. I asked him if it's going to have like all the natural disasters and earthquakes and Godzillas and giant robots and UFOs and everything.
Zombies.
Off the top of my head, I think he said. A lot of the he didn't. It was like a yes and a no sort of answer. It was like a lot of the staples of the SimCity series will be returning. It was something along those lines. So it was a bit of a cagey yes. It was almost like we're not ready to announce anything at this time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the stuff like that will be in there at SimCity. Okay. What makes SimCity?
Okay, going along with more SimCity, Informal Tom has asked, I've noticed that some SimCity screenshots have a tilt shift effect on them. Is this an in-game effect?
Yes, it is. It's there all the time, and it looks awesome.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's like just everything you do sort of in the game, like the towns and the, like all that sort of stuff. It's brilliant. Really good.
Okay.
Makes everything look like models.
I've got the last question. Do you want the last question?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, okay.
Why would we not want the last question, Jen?
Well, Alright, last question. Neil Gotts, the lovely Neil from various things like, what's his thing called now?
UGS Gamer and True Gits.
True Gits, yeah, look that up. He's making some videos about being a git. And he dresses up. It's quite funny.
You know what I found out about that the other day?
What's that?
Sorry, it ain't like bad or anything, but we was talking about the Maxim girl thing, about the hot girl gamer. Neil is working with the editor of Maximum to do True Gits. That's what those two are.
Yeah, he gets to put them on Maxim's website.
It's Maxim UK though. Maxim UK and US are different things.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The Maxim US, the girl gamer thing is Maxim US. Is very they just the magazines are very different. It's not the same.
I did not know that.
True story.
Yeah, okay. Carry on.
He's asked how much rampant buggering is in the new Game of Thrones game. Now, he's just baiting me, basically, because he was sitting next to me when he asked the question to the dev guy today.
He actually asked that.
Yeah. He actually he said, obviously, there's lots of sex and raunchiness in the series and the books. Is that going to be portrayed in the game as well? Because we didn't see anything like that. And he goes, yes, there is. And then picked a chapter that had a brothel, and we watched some ladies dance, which was kind of awkward in a room full of people.
Mainly men.
And you're the only girl in the middle?
I was one of the only girls, yes. But no, it was, there will be lots of sex, apparently. I think they're toning it down a little bit for age ratings, because they got a bit annoyed that they couldn't have, like, a lower age rating, but apart from that...
Game of Thrones is surely an 18.
Yeah, you would think so.
Oh. After last
but I don't know,
episode,
I think there will be sex, but maybe not to the point of the dirtiness of the series. But yeah. He said there will be incest and stuff as well, so whatever.
Oh, wicked. I love a bit of in-game incest.
Oh, yeah. Who doesn't? It's the best part.
Yeah. Well, fair play. I'm glad they put the wolves in, like, walking through the wolf's eyes. And
no, it's
I'm
not
glad
a wolf.
No, the animal, whatever you said it was.
No, I know. I wish they were dire wolves, but they weren't. They were just like some weird, fat kind of
It's
staff.
like those ugly fucking dogs in fucking Dragon Age.
Yeah, it looks a bit like those, yeah. But they're really ugly looking, like,
I'm glad they've got that, though, and I'm glad they got the incest. Like, they are pretty much the two big staples of fucking Game of Thrones, so...
Dogs and incest.
Good stuff. Dogs and incest. Right, so that's the end. Is that the end of Question Corner? Yes, it is.
It is.
So, basically, Lee's got some other stuff about preview events. Do you want to rattle it off, Sunshine, and we call it a night?
Oh, Jesus, right, okay.
Yeah. See, that's what I was talking about when I said, do you want the last question? Because you said we could do some questions and then do the previews and then finish the questions. I wasn't being stupid.
I think you looked into it too much. And also you spoke like Maud in Solus quite a lot then. It was a bit weird.
I didn't, that wasn't my... Yeah, okay, go
on. This is kind of carrying on from what we were talking about last week when I was at the EA showcase. There was some stuff I couldn't talk about last week because I was allowed to talk about it this week. Crysis 3, got to see that running and have a talk with the blokes. It's looking very good. It's
but so did 2.
It's set in New York again, but it's 20 years after the last game.
Oh.
Wow.
You're playing as Prophet. There's also a guy in it from the first game, and I think it was Crysis Warfighter. Oh no, what was that other Crysis game called? There's a guy in it. There's 2 key characters in it. Prophet's in it, and there's another key character from sort of the previous games who wasn't really in the last one. And it's set in New York, 20 years in the future, and the Cell Corporation from like the second game have built like these big sort of like biodomes over like all of the cities that got invaded, and New York's one of them. They're changing the focus around quite a bit, whereas in the second one, they sort of likened it to you being the hunted. In this new one, they're saying that you are now the hunter, which is, I suppose, it's kind of represented with the bow and arrow that you have and everything. It is looking... Well, I mean, it's running on the Crytek engine, so obviously it looks pretty good anyway. But yeah, it's looking really good. They're saying that they're going to push... They're pushing for a much... I'm trying to think what the word is. Like a much clearer sort of narrative, like with the story. It's not going to be all complicated and based on like sort of all this weird sort of like corruption and stuff with big companies. They're going to sort of avoid that. They've got a new writer on board, like a sci-fi writer guy.
I was just gonna say, because obviously with Crysis 2, I didn't play it all the way through. I got a bit bored. Mainly, it seemed to be very tight corridor for like 30 seconds, and then took you into this big wide open area that you then, because you were allowed to kind of choose how you wanted to kind of go through. You could either just go in all guns blazing, or you could be a bit more tactical or stealthy and use your camo and go through. You didn't even have to kill that many people. Do you know if they're gonna try and focus it a bit more and push you down a path a bit more?
No, well, sort of yes and no. They still want you to sort of get to a place and assess like the situation. So like you'll come into an area, you'll be up at the top, and then you'll have to like look down and make a note, make almost like a mental note, or mark them on your map and everything of where all the baddies are, get an idea of which way they're going, and then from there you can either just plough in all guns blazing and just mow them all down, or you can go in sort of stealthily, like sort of in the previous one, like and just try and sort of take them all out quietly before moving on, or even if you wanted to, in theory, if the section allows it, just sort of move right, just completely avoid them altogether.
Okay.
And not have to worry with them. They've changed the baddies in it as well.
What? So it's not the
Seth,
like, army guys or the aliens anymore.
I
Yeah,
like
no,
that you
it's
called
still
it
the bits that we've seen. It's still the Seth, which are the aliens.
Yeah.
But while they look similar, they've evolved, and the reasoning behind it is apparently because now the Seth are effectively locked in what was New York, like in these bubbles. The Seth have adapted to their environment, so they've changed quite a bit. So while they look similar, they look very similar. They like all of the different baddies. They are like a little bit different, but I think that's more of a reason than it's more of a case of they just wanted to change how they
freshen
look,
it
and
up
they made an
bit,
excuse, just to sort of freshen it up. The section we seen was in like a rainforesty bit at night. And he's looking really, really good. There's this crazy bit at the end. You can now pick up Seth weapons and use them because of like what happens at the end of Crysis 2 when Sean Bean dies. And
Oh my god!
Seriously, there is no known cure for being a cunt.
So you can now use Seth weapons. And they've got this one. It's like this big, like mortar cannon thing. And there's just this bit where literally there's like about 50 of them, sort of all jump up and over these railings and onto this platform where you are, and like you're just like, oh crap, like you know that like that's going to be a hard fight, like in any game. And then like you see this mortar thing on the floor, and you pick it up and you just hoof all of them. It's like a one-shot killer. It's brilliant. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, it is more Crysis. They've just, I suppose, refined it and sort of picked up on the things that they've like made from the last one and made it better.
I think the worrying thing about that is, although Crysis is a good game, when the first one came out, it was quite special. It was like, bit PC only before they brought it out on Xbox Live. Xbox downloadable on demand or whatever it was, and it was a special game. And then Crysis 2 come out, and we was all really excited and like, we're at run, it'll be amazing. And now with Crysis 3, it's almost in danger of just becoming one of those games which come out every couple of years. I would like to see them do something with the engine and maybe make a whole brand new game.
Well, the engine's been like ramped up a bit, and to be fair, it is a very different game. It's not like runner and shooter, and it's not like the last one was. Even from the bit that we played, it's very much you're chasing down the baddies rather than trying to get around them all the time.
Yeah.
Which sort of put like a new spin on it, and the bow and arrow is awesome.
I would like to see that going. I mean, it did tie the guns on Crysis 2 did bore me, and in fact, I ended up liking Crysis 1 a bit better than Crysis 2 just because crabs and stuff. Crabs. Crabs. Lee, what other games did you get to preview, which you can tell us about now?
I also played The Secret World, which is an MMO that's sort of, it's based in the real world, but it's based in sort of fantasy as well, like sort of not fantasy, it's sort of like mythology, like the boogeyman and like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay, what? So
what? Blame it on the boogeyman. fuck's the boogeyman?
Boogeyman.
Jesus Christ!
A boogie.
That's like the best superhero of all time.
One of their main concepts about it is that it's the real world. But imagine if all those myths you were told as a kid were all true. What if this existed?
Like Bloody
what if that
Mary
existed?
from Mirror.
Oh,
yeah,
like monsters under the bed and that sort of stuff.
Like Ugly Americans.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Which is the best cartoon ever.
Apart from Archer.
Apart from Archer, of course.
Oh,
and Sea Lab.
And Robot Chicken.
Not so much.
So yeah, it's like it is. Do you want to know something? I'd like.
No.
No. All right. Well, it's an MMO, and I'm sick of like MMOs. Just like getting a bit like, oh, it's not War. Like everybody's opinion on it on all MMOs at the minute are like, oh, it's not Warcraft, is it? Yeah. It's like nothing is ever going to overshadow that big Warcraft-like shaped monster. And like even Star Wars, I think even a lot of the people that play Star Wars online, they're probably still... a lot of them are obviously going to be Warcraft players.
That's died down now, definitely, hasn't it? I don't hear hardly anyone talking about Star Wars like they used to.
Their Twitter feed is constantly, the servers are off, and then a couple of hours later, the servers are back up again. And then the servers are off, and the servers are back up again. I was like, oh... But I got bored of Star Wars, to be honest with you. I know it was quite BioWare-y. It was more of the Old Republic. Star Wars: The Old Republic is more like a single-player game that you just happen to be playing online.
Yeah,
it's like there just happens to be other people around you. It's not you're playing with other people; they just happen to fucking be there. I cancelled my subscription to Star Wars. I couldn't be asked it anymore.
Anyway, Secret World.
Yeah, Secret World. It's I played this bit in like a theme park. And it's just awesome. It's really, really good. I'll have a preview up of it shortly. But yeah, it's based in the real world. You've got guns. There's no faffing about with classes and stuff like that. I always get bogged down with like classes and skill trees and everything like that. Like there are no classes. There's technically no levels either. You don't level up in it like you do traditionally with other games. You can just sort of unlock more stuff as you go in. It is quite story-based as well.
So is it you're unlocking armour and different weapons or powers rather than...
it's like different weapons, different powers, and there was a third one. There's weapons, powers. I can't remember what the other one was.
Sean Bean.
Sean Bean.
Oh dear.
But we did this bit sort of going through a theme park, and like all the rides were like coming to life and everything, like in various ways. The other good thing about it is it wasn't fetch quests. Like MMOs are always fetch quests. It's just go get this, bring it to me. Go get this, bring it to me. Go get this, bring it to me. That's all you have to do. Or like, can you go and get this? It's really hard. You'll need to take 4 other people with you. That's all that ever is on like MMOs. But this, it wasn't like that. It was quite story driven, but also really quite MMO-y, whereas you could play it with people as well.
Was it quite atmospheric at all, considering what you're trying to explain is a bit of a scary
game?
It
was.
For an MMO, I'm a bit confused about that, like trying to get a bit of an Alan Wake vibe or something.
No, that's actually you're not far off with that, actually. It had got a bit of an Alan Wake vibe to it.
Yeah.
The bit that you played... the bit that you played, Lee...
Did you play the Gamescom, Joey?
No, we went behind closed doors with it and we saw some of the first reveals. And then they did have it on the show floor where they showed you the PvE stuff, where you are going through and trying to defeat this big monster. It's a Kraken kind of thing. But I am not an MMO player. My laptop is useless. But the Secret World, I think I actually did a bit about it for EA when we went out there. The Secret World is the only MMO I really, really, really want to play. And that was just from what I saw at Gamescom without getting hands-on. It looks great. You've got these kind of training missions as well, I think, which are story-based missions as well, but you play them by yourself. So there is that element to it as well. I just love the look of it, and I really want someone to send me a free PC so I can play it.
And also, I played the Battlefield Close Quarters DLC, which is really fucking good. Like, it is... It just completely mixes up the whole Battlefield thing. It makes Battlefield very similar to Modern Warfare.
Okay.
But you know, like you know what we were saying earlier when we were playing with Dan, and it was on all those maps where they were all sort of like the small maps where it's like the team-on-team stuff?
Yeah.
And you were saying like how it's crap. It is sort of like that, except it's not crap. For whatever reason, I don't know if it's because of the pacing or the maps or what, but it's really good. And you even have like sort of mini... What's the one where you have to hold the flags? Is it Conquest?
Yeah.
There's also like a little, like you play on these smaller maps, but there's a Conquest mode as well, and you capture the flags much quicker. Like, you don't have to sit on them for ages. It's like you stand there, you probably have to stand there for maybe 3-4 seconds, and then the flag's yours.
So they've kind of just miniaturised everything, like every aspect.
They've kind of miniaturised Battlefield, yeah, but it's like, it's the pacing of it is completely different. It's like, I run around with a shotgun. I was just like, yeah.
A Battlefield where you can actually use a shotgun and it genuinely works. What the fuck?
But seriously, it is close quarters thing. I mean, I just thought, it's just them sort of maybe having a bit of a pop at sort of Modern Warfare or something like that. But it is really, really good. I'm well impressed with it. I think it's definitely going to breathe a big life into Battlefield, because the thing is, it'll get everybody playing it again. The only thing I guess they've got to watch is make sure it's not too expensive, or at least make sure it's not. At least make sure it's worth the money. They didn't talk pricing or anything like that, and they only actually got to see one of the maps. Destruction model's been ramped up quite a bit as well. It's like you're playing inside this bit that we're playing. It was like this destroyed villa.
Yep.
And we were just like, you just blow the crap out of everything. It was great.
So it's all got good destruction still and everything then. So yeah,
it was like somebody hides behind a pillar, like a support pillar in the thing. You just shoot. You just blow the crap out of the pillar. Just chuck a grenade. Just toss a grenade launcher at it or something like that, and just like blow the side of the pillar.
A grenade launcher at it. That probably won't do much.
Here, have a weapon.
Just hit the floor.
Yeah, take this.
Yeah. Pick this up. Don't kill me with it.
I'm hard to kill. Have this. All right.
This is a peace offering.
I think we're done for this week then, guys. Unless anyone else has got anything else to talk about. No.
Has Ant got a bad joke to tell to sign us off like last week?
What's black and screams? God.
Sean Bean.
Stevie Wonder when he answers the iron.
That's I
think we should end on that bombshell.
Fucking hell. Thanks for listening, everyone. Has anyone got any Twitter gubbins to talk about? I can't remember.
No, but people should definitely write a review about the podcast on iTunes. I was thinking about this the other day.
Well, they should write more comments.
We never asked people to do that favour for us. Well,
write
a review, give us 12 stars out of 5.
Yeah, definitely do that, because it's nice to know that people care or listen or
opinions.
Yeah,
yes,
opinions.
Yes, Mr. Silent, apathetic internet man.
Goodbye, everyone.
Oh,
ta-ra.
Bye.
Bye.
Is this going to become a weekly thing? Have I got to tell a bad joke after every podcast?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm waiting for Lee to call me.